All right. Good night, guys. Good night, guys. Everybody can hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. So, good night, Jamal. Good night, Travis Scott. Might be it. You know, Joe, I have a funny feeling when I saw that hairstyle there, boy. I had that funny feeling like, you know what? I think between now and the end of the season, our boy, or I guess we could call him Travis Scott now, will wrap up about 15 goals from now till the end to propel us into the Champions League.
Champion.
How does a theory sound?
Um, I don't know about the 15 goals possible, but the Champions League part, yeah, that
What do
one.
you mean? Now I'm talking about via the Europa League route.
Oh, the Europa. Well, you
It's
see,
not a
after
top four.
if we're talking about
No, no,
Europa,
no, not top four.
you're talking
No,
top
I've
four.
given up on top four. No, I've
Okay,
given up
okay,
on top four. Yeah,
okay.
personally, I think we dropped too many points there in between. We had some favorable runs, and I think that we are not going to make that anymore. Jamal, what's up with you? I haven't seen you, talked to you for a while.
Yeah,
What's up?
been busy with assignments, and the sun has been out for a couple of days, so it's been outside getting the suntan.
Uh-oh. Okay.
I said
Oh,
something.
it's good though because last time we had an Arsenal show, Joe, I don't know if you can remember, we could barely see his eyes.
Yes, yes, yes. Tonight is extra bright tonight.
That's good. That's good. All right. We have Moy. Moy saying good night. Good night. Pick up yourself, Moy. Thanks for joining us. And let's just get right into it, guys, because tonight I want us to touch on a couple of things, and that's going to be our next 9 games in the Premier League. I want to ask you what's our best 11. Should Aubameyang be a starter? And we'll touch on whether or not we can really get to the Champions League via the Europa League. So let's start here. Let's just go ahead and start here, guys. We have 9 games left. Liverpool
Mhm.
at home, Sheffield United away, Fulham at home, Everton at home, Newcastle away, West Brom at home, Chelsea away, Crystal Palace away, and Brighton at home. From these 9 games, guys, how many points do you see us collecting? Jamal, you can start.
Um, 18, 20, 21. I say 21 points. Liverpool, I don't think we're going to take anything from that. Sheffield. I guess there's 2 teams here I don't see us taking anything from at the moment. Sheffield a win, Fulham a win, Everton that could be a draw. Newcastle win, West Brom win, Chelsea no. We lose the Chelsea game. And we take points off Palace and Brighton as well. So
When you say take points off
okay, we
you
win. We
mean
win.
win?
Yeah,
Okay,
we win.
okay. Just want to be sure. So how many points did you count there?
3 for Sheffield, Fulham another 3, 6. 1 for Everton, 7. 10 the Newcastle, 13 the West Brom, 16 Palace, and 19 Brighton. Yeah.
19 out of 27.
Yeah.
Joe, would you be happy with that at the end of the season?
The 19 or the 27 final
19
run.
out of our next possible 27.
Yeah, I can live with it. I would be able to live with it, but I'm looking at more than that.
Looking at more than that.
Go ahead. Let me hear you, bro. Let me hear you.
The way I'm looking at this breakdown, right? If we beat Liverpool, I am looking at a possible 27.
Oh, I like hearing that. Love that energy.
If we beat Liverpool, I'm looking at a possible 27, and then
Right.
because then beating Liverpool would be the perfect thing to take us into a Europa League game, and then being that result is favorable, the momentum just keeps building and building and building. I mean, Sheffield, you expect to win that game. We are the favorites for that game. Fulham, you expect us to win that game.
Derby.
Everton, yeah, but you expect us to win that game. Everton,
And Scott, sorry to joke, but Scott Parker would be scrambling for points there.
yeah, that is true. That is true. That's
That'd be a
that's
tough
the
game.
only thing, because my thing is, right, for this like for this set of games, to be honest, the teams I would mostly be concerned about would be Fulham, Brighton, and Crystal Palace. I'm not concerned about Liverpool because I believe that we have more than enough to beat them, honestly, especially with their current form. Sheffield, just to play for the fun of it, just for the professionalism. Sheffield
Right.
outside. Fulham, they will be fighting to stay up. So, you never know what can happen because one of the worst teams you can fight is a team that is you can play against the team that is fighting to stay up. That's one
Right.
of the worst matchups you can get. Everton, their form has been shaky, especially with James still out. Luke Digne, I'm not since he's come back, I haven't seen anything, spectacular from him. He's taken a while to get himself, back in form. For the most part, and then I think Louise and Gabriel are capable of dealing with Calvert Lewandowski. So I'm not really big fan of him, big fan of him though, but I'm not really concerned about him. Newcastle, they are a bit desperate, but if you think back
Yeah,
about two
that
to
would be a
three
tricky
shows
one.
ago, I told you that Newcastle will be playing Brucey ball in the championship, and y'all laughs. Mark my words, Newcastle are getting relegated.
Okay.
And then Chelsea, we can beat them. It's honestly, the Chelsea game might be the most boring game out of all of the out of this entire lineup. Honestly
Boring.
speaking, yeah. Honestly, for some reason, I just have the feeling that it will be because then okay, they're going to be playing that 5 back, but high pressing, constant pressure football, and once we get the ball, that is what we try to do too. So it'll be a game where none of the teams want to make the first move in a sense, if you get what I'm saying, because nobody wants to
Right.
get caught. So I have a feeling that game might be boring. Crystal Palace, the only reason I'm concerned about them in any way is, oh my, for some reason, Crystal Palace will be in the worst form of their life, and every time they play Arsenal,
Yes.
they give us headache.
Prime
Yeah, that is
Barcelona
gonna be.
Yeah, every time we play them, they give us headache. And then Brighton, I mean,
winner.
they're fighting, but I'm not concerned about them. So
Ma-
I'd say 27, possible 27 if we beat Liverpool, but if not, I'd say 21.
Okay, my thing with the Chelsea game here is my only thing I'm thinking about, that's off the top of my head, is whether or not Chelsea would have a deep Champions League run, which I'm pretty sure they will get through Porto.
Yeah,
I
I'd
said
say
last that they would get to Porto, and they should still be in the Champions League by this time. Maybe the
mhm,
semi-final legs will be playing. We don't know
which
what
may
team
be
they will put
crucial to
out.
us.
Is
Yeah,
it?
that's true.
Yeah, that's 7 weeks down the line, then, right? 7 or 6.
One, two. Yeah,
Yeah.
about six. Yeah, right. You're good.
Yeah.
So I mean, it could be that could be a tricky fixture. The one with Newcastle as well, I'm looking at, and Everton. But I still think we have Everton at home. I think we have a good record at Everton versus Everton at home. I think we can collect the 3 points there. Newcastle, they'll still be scrapping. I do think that Newcastle will survive the drop, and I think it's
Mhm.
what we're really looking at is that Fulham game. But I will go with about 20, maybe, because I'll take a draw this weekend. I'll take a draw this weekend.
No, I want 3 points.
You want 3 points,
I'll,
but I'll
I'll,
take a
I'll
draw
3
this
points.
weekend, to be honest. Because
Mhm.
you know what I don't want going into the Europa League. I don't want us to in
Uh,
this. I don't want us to lose any games. I
Yeah,
want our morale to be high. So I would right now. I just don't want to see any L's, no
fair
L's
enough.
whatsoever. So this is why I
Agree.
say I would possibly take a
uh,
draw this weekend.
yeah.
But guys, let's jump here, because what I want to get at here is our best starting 11 for these fixtures coming up. Because I think if we are to make any big stamp, I think Arteta has to win most of these games. Now, I don't think that the Premier League is done. When I say done, 10th is not respectable.
Yeah, we can get some more
10th
respectable
is not
level.
respectable. I know 8-2, that's not respectable. But I want to see some fight from here on in. So
Mhm.
for you guys here, I want you guys to tell me what's our best starting 11. I guess we can take our time and go to. I think everybody would agree that Leno is our number one goalkeeper.
Yeah.
You don't have a choice.
I mean, Matt Ryan would be a good shout too. I don't think he's a bad
not,
backup.
not
I
as
No,
my
don't think
number
he's a
one, no.
bad backup.
he's a good
Of course,
backup. Like you said, a good backup.
yeah, he's not a bad backup.
Yeah, not as my
So,
number one,
so we have Leno in. That's a sure.
for
Yeah.
sure.
At right back, with the performance that we saw from Chambers last game, we have Chambers, Cedric, Bellerin. I'm pretty sure you are going to take out Bellerin. So let's just
Yeah,
concentrate. Let's
yeah,
concentrate on Chambers and Cedric.
and Cedric. Yeah, Bellerin outside. Um,
Cedric for me.
Cedric. Yeah, I'd go with Cedric. I, I,
Go with
I
Cedric.
want, I want to go with Chambers based on the fact, like I said, before his injury, he was actually running ball
Mhm.
in that right back position, but at the same time, he doesn't have the pace that Cedric has, and I think
Right.
that although he creates, he's a good crosser of the ball and he makes good passes. I think that overall in the attacking sense that Cedric offers more. So I'd go with Cedric.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Let me just get this comment from Moyen. Y'all have a good run of fixtures to ensure Arsenal pick up those 3 points. I think we do. I think we do. We have favorable fixtures there as well. Jamal, you were going to say something, or I could move on.
I'm gonna say something on Chambers is that he's the type of right back you would use when you have some type of tactic on, like in FIFA where you have the fullback stay back and don't run.
Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, he would fit in that sort of situation. If you're playing a flat back four or back five and they don't push on, you just let the midfielders and the strikers deal with everything. Then he can. For the minute he has to run forward, I think he doesn't have the crossing ability as much as Cedric does.
Okay, so let me ask you before we move on to the other positions. Chambers for you, what's his best position? Because he's played CDM on loan at Fulham and looked pretty good. He's played right back before he joined Arsenal, and he's played centre back. That's what Joe alluded to before he got his injury. So, what's his best position?
When we signed him, we actually signed him as a playing as a right back.
Yeah.
When we signed him, he was being played as a right back, and I think that if in comparison to him, Bellerin and Cedric, I honestly think that going forward in terms of that final ball, he is the best out of the three. But again, my issue is the pace. The pace. But at the same time, I feel like the thing that that Chambers has over Bellerin and Cedric is that he reads the game a lot better than the two of them defensively. And I guess it's based on the fact that he plays centre back, CDM, and right back. But for me, I would say his best position might actually be that right back position. It's between the right back and the CDM for me.
Okay, all right. Before we get to you, Jamal, Cedric and Callum, Munchie saying here, Cedric and Callum should be rotated according to the opponent. So that's what Jamal is saying there as well.
I agree.
Munchie is saying that he's here. Thank you, Munchie. Thanks for joining us tonight. Go ahead, Jamal.
I was gonna agree with that and say that he should be rotated according to the opponent. It does depend on the system that we're playing as well. If it's like I said, if it's nothing to deal with the fullbacks pushing forward or to deal with pace, then we can have him playing. But other than that, I think if the game is gonna get stretched, you can't have him playing in those sort of games.
Fair enough. All right, so I think we all agree that we're going with Cedric.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this as a pairing now. So 2 centre backs. Let me start right. I'll start and I'll go with Gabriel and David Luiz. I am tempted to say Pablo Mari, but I know that Arteta won't go with 2 left-footed centre backs. I don't know why, because 2 right-footed centre backs could play together. But I don't know what the reluctance with 2 left-footed centre backs. So with that in mind, I'll finish up. With that in mind, I'll go David Luiz and Gabriel. Go ahead, Jamal.
I think 2 left-footed centre backs you have two left-footed centre backs. You have a left back, and then you have a central midfielder who's also left-footed. That's already four players. The core,
Okay.
and that can't play on the right. So your attack is always coming down the left. So that's why I don't think you can play with that. So for me, I'd also go with Gabriel and David Luiz.
Go ahead, Joe.
So here's my thing with that, right?
You're already smiling. Hear this.
No, it's not even a case. Don't worry, I'm not going to be as as y'all expect. But my thing is, I feel like the David Luiz and Gabriel, because if we're going based off of pairing, I believe that David Luiz and Gabriel are the best. That's their best pairing. But I also believe that Pablo Mari and Rob Holding are just as comparable to them because the two of them play very, very, very well together.
Interesting point there, Joe. So what period would you go with then?
It all again. It would come down to it would come down to the opponent. Honestly speaking, it will come down to the opponent because if you're going to have players that you need the centre backs to keep up with, and there will be opportunities to play the ball over the top. You're going to go with Luiz and Gabriel because Gabriel has the pace, he can keep up with them, he can be physical. Luiz has the physicality, and Luiz can play that ball over the top. If you are playing, let's say, more against a team that is going to play this, 1-2 tiki-taka, pass the ball all the way into the box, all the way to the goal football, I would go with Pablo Mari and Rob Holding because I feel like both of them are more disciplined. They know when to make the tackles and they read the game very well. Quite often, I think they break the play down before it even gets to a certain point.
Okay, but Joe, if you could only walk with two, let's say we have to go into a bubble and you can only walk with two centre backs and you're guaranteed fitness for the rest of the season.
Gabriel and Luiz.
Gabriel and Luiz. All right. I know that we don't have another left back in the team, do we? So it has to be Tierney.
It
has to be Tierney. More saying Luiz and Gabriel, right? So that's all back five. Leno.
Yeah.
Cedric. Gabriel, Luiz, and Tierney. Fine. Fair enough. Let's go because we play 4-2-3-1. Right?
Yeah.
Right. So let's deal with the two. Because I have
controversial, huh?
It's Shaka has to play. I think our system works well because of Granit Xhaka. But I don't think that, and of course Partey has to play as well. So that is a two. That is my two. However, I just don't think that Danny Ceballos is that far off of it. I feel like Ceballos could do a job.
He's not.
However, because he makes a lot of tackles in the midfield.
I think the records show that when he plays with Xhaka, that he actually makes the most tackles. In whatever midfield pairing, once he's in there, he makes the most tackles and interceptions.
So go ahead, Joe. That's my two. Go ahead and tell us what's your two.
My two is based off of what we've been playing and what we've seen works. I would, instinct would tell me to go with Xhaka and Partey without a doubt. But at the same time, unpopular shout, I think that one of the best midfield displays that we have seen for this entire season was a game where Mohamed El Neni and Partey were playing together.
Versus United.
Correct.
Versus United. That was good though. That was a good showing. But I just don't know if El Neni can give us that game. But could he do it 5 games in a row?
That's the issue that's my only issue. That's why I didn't go with that pairing, the consistency. I don't know if we can get that from him.
Jamal, you agree?
I do agree, but I also
that's all like, oh boy, I have to agree with this because Xhaka, we don't really have much to choose from.
Xhaka and Partey would start for me, but the thing is, it totally depends on who starts up front.
Okay.
Yeah, here's my reasoning behind it. If we start Aubameyang up front, then he's not the person to come back into midfield like Lacazette and maybe have the three that's behind him run forward. So you have Partey and Xhaka, and then you have Lacazette coming in behind the lines, and you have people running forward, so he can play that ball back to Partey or Xhaka, or play the ball forward. Now, if Aubameyang is playing, he's going to look for the running behind or playing on the last defender or going out wide. Danny Ceballos would be that person to play those balls in the middle there.
Right.
Where Lacazette is not, because you won't have a striker anymore. So
that's a valid point.
For me, I would be starting Lacazette up front because I put Xhaka and Partey in there.
Because you put okay. But then I think that Partey does a decent job of that as well.
He does.
Playing that ball over the top, playing that ball that splits the defense to Aubameyang.
Yeah, but how often? Like, this is another thing that I see, is that Aubameyang, he doesn't really stay in the middle.
True.
Yeah, always going left.
Always left. That's why he's played out there.
And that's why Smith Rowe works well when Aubameyang is playing.
Yeah.
Because let's
together
let's get some comments in. Moy saying David Luiz with the experience. Munchie always says this, that Luiz is the ticking bomb, but I'm saying Luiz has been almost dependable defender, I think, this season.
The bomb's gonna tick until it explodes.
Yeah,
it is. I mean, and sometimes in fairness to him, it ticks and he explodes on the other team, and sometimes he explodes on us.
So it's
right. So
I feel like Arteta found the sweet spot with Luiz now, because Luiz will give us a particular set of good games, decent games, and then Arteta will rotate the lineup and maybe not play him for a game or two. So that gives him time to reset. So it's as if Arteta it's as if Arteta has a meter and he's like, okay, he's about to explode.
Right. Take him out. Okay. I mean, if Arteta has found that meter, I mean, I have extra respect for Arteta now, because managers after managers have never found that meter for David Luiz. So Jordan is saying here Ceballos could be a very good number 8, and I think so too. Moy saying Xhaka at the boss, and this guy he can't wait to start the forgetty blow now. He can't wait to start the forgetty blow. But after I will come to you Thursday, man. This is water gone since last night yesterday. O'Neil agreeing with us, Xhaka and Partey, and Munchie laughing at Joe's comment there. All right, so that's our pivot. Let's go to our number 10, because I don't know anything from here is going to be controversial. So let's go to our number 10, and everybody would agree that that's Odegaard.
Yeah.
Odegaard. Right, Joe?
Oh,
I didn't joke it, Charles.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you said Smith Rowe either, because then you'd have.
It's not a bad shout, though, Joe.
No, it's not a bad shout. For me personally, if it is Aubameyang playing, it's 100% Odegaard. 100%. Because you need somebody who can break down the line and play that pass through and whatnot. But if it's a Lacazette playing, I think either or can play the position.
So you can only choose one, bro.
Oh boy. Listen, my thing is right. I love Odegaard, boss, with a passion. You understand? But my thing is,
but your commitment, because
this whole thing of
Smith will come through
and then
to the academy.
Yeah, no, not even that. But Smith, I've watched Smith will go boss. You understand? I remember when we first brought him on the scene, and he came on, and I was saying, "Yo, this kid is a baller," but he was weak and he didn't have any confidence. He was pushed off of the ball easily and whatnot. So I think that he will be a real talent. You understand? He's already showing it. But my thing is with Odegaard. If Odegaard is an Arsenal player, true 100%, then I sign it. Odegaard, 100%, no problem. But this
It doesn't
loan,
matter though, Joe. It doesn't
this
matter. We're
loan,
talking about from now until May.
from
Who
now
is
until
your
May.
number 10? From now till May, I'm not talking about anything further than that.
Your best number is
Okay, yeah, from now until May, Odegaard, without a doubt,
Okay.
Odegaard.
I was wondering. Okay. I mean, I see Beefs Nesta saying here he outside knocking on the door. And I seen that Nesta, you can come out and try again. Come out and try again and see if you can come in. But Nesta's supposed to join us.
Nah,
O'Neal
not
say he
enough,
says
man.
Smith Rowe. Yeah, you probably had the wrong door name, Nesta. So okay, Munchie's saying Joe, remember this is the best time for the rest of the season, right? He's just agreeing with us. All right. So that's our number 10.
Yeah, but Smith
Okay.
could be in the argument too, even if it's for the rest of the season. I think Smith
I
is
mean,
still in the argument.
bro, it's your best 11. You
yeah.
pick yours. If you
No,
want,
yeah,
or Smith Rowe.
personally, I would pick Odegaard because of the fact that he's a more traditional number 10, and he has the ability to get out of tight spaces. But yeah,
Okay.
I can live with either. Or. I would be fine with either of the two of them.
Okay. I think. Oh, okay. I see Nesta here now. I'm just waiting for him to put on his camera and stuff like that. Okay. So that's our number 10. Let's
Mhm.
now go to. I think this is the easy one. Let's do the easy one. Our right side, our right way. Who we go with?
Saka.
Saka. Joe, this is the
So
easy one. Okay. Okay, tell me that.
no, Saka may go with man, Joe, Saka, of course.
Okay. Okay. Somebody here trying to make a joke. He say Bruno Fernandez number 10. Oh wait, that's a Man U fan there. Thanks for
Yeah.
joining us, do Aiden. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so Saka.
Yeah.
And that's on the right side. And here we go now. Let's go left first. Because the answer you give me here will let me know what you're taking up at the top. So tell me who's playing left side for you. Who's on the left? Jamal,
That's
you
good,
start.
Jamal. That's good, Jamal.
All right. If it's the best 11 that we have to start in every game going forward,
That's the question.
Smith Rowe is on the left.
Smith Rowe.
Smith Rowe on the left for me. Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't expect that one. I was thinking I had a couple names in my head. I
Yeah,
wasn't expecting that one.
you
Joe,
can-
you go ahead.
Smidrow is a good shout. I agree with you 100%, Jamal, because he plays well with all the attackers, and him and Tierney have this weird chemistry, boss. That is crazy. But at the same time, I look at it this way: after Aubameyang and Lacazette, who is more likely to score a goal out of our front line? And for me personally, who is more likely to score a goal or create something? And for me, that's Pepe. So I'm putting Pepe out there. Pepe can run at players. Pepe can score goals. Pepe creates chances. Pepe is a player that will come on and for 10 minutes and dig Arsenal out of a hole, change the momentum of the game, score a goal, create
Right.
an assist,
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
So
I
for
get
that
you.
reason, I'd go with Pepe.
But you'd put Pepe
Oh.
in from the start, is my question.
Yeah, I'd actually put Pepe to start.
Okay.
If we're going best starting 10 for the rest of the season, because ultimately my front line job is to score goal and create assists. Not for do for example, like Saka for the past few games, make the best runs, get past defenders and then kick it in the goalkeeper hand. Because that's where I feel Saka needs to work, his finishing. And Smith Rowe is the same thing. Smith Rowe is excellent. His movement, the way he creates space off of the ball and the way he affects the game off of the ball. But ultimately, all of that means nothing if they don't put the ball into the back of the net. So I'm going with Pepe.
Okay. All right. Nesta, good night. Thanks for joining us. We have just been going through our best 11. We've just been going through our best 11, and I want let me just bring you up to speed. We chose Leno, and you can stop me. Stop me when you disagree. Okay? Leno as our starting goalkeeper, Cedric. We have Gabriel and Luis as our centre back pairing, Tierney as our left back, Partey and Shaka as our pivot. We have
Who's
Saka,
who's with Luis? You said Gabriel and Luis.
Gabriel and Luis.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Shaka and Partey as our pivot. We have Saka on the right, Odegaard at number 10. And you can tell us who's going to play left for you. But let me just get some of the comments in from the fans that are joining us here. Aiden, he's saying he loved the channel, take care. Thanks a lot for that. O'Neill is saying, Joe will say William. But he said, no love for Papa Smurf, William. He said, Ronaldinho incarnate. And we have a question here, and I think it's a very interesting one, but he hasn't played a lot. He's asking, what about Martinelli? What about Martinelli? Jordan Pemberton, he's saying, yes, Smith Rowe on the left for him as well. O'Neill is agreeing, Smith Rowe on the left. Munchie, Pepe for the rest of the season, Joe. He's asking you that. You're going to just keep all these questions in mind so you can answer them. And Munchie's back saying to, best you said, William, while you're at it. Just saying. Pepe come in like one crab without the Gundy sometimes. Okay, that's an interesting way of describing it.
That's a Chelsea fan, right? I just want to point that out.
Jordan, the Chelsea fan?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Aiden is saying host took out his headphones because he can't stand Pepe. That is not true. That is not true. Are you saying that Pepe if we play Pepe we get relegated? I do not agree with that. I do not agree with that, though, O'Neill. Let's go Beef on the left.
So for the left side, you're saying, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest.
And this is for the rest of this. You have to put the pressure. This is for the rest of the season.
Well, pretty much you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and I'm gonna tell you why. I can just jump and say a player, but any player you put is gonna be a negative reaction still. So if you put Pepe, you don't have no firepower coming off the bench. You can't count on Martinelli because he haven't been running like that this season. And then if you put Smith Rowe, then you don't have a proper backup number 10 to come off the bench. So now you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. So it's like we don't have a Man City squad. You cannot say, oh, you don't have much options to choose from. So pretty much if you go with, most likely everybody wants to go with Pepe. But we know Smith will give us that balance. The team is better with Smith on the left. But for me, for the rest of the season, I just have to, because I want to have that backup in Smith coming off the bench. If we need it, I'll just go with Pepe on the left.
Pepe on the left. I Beef, those 2 points that you mentioned there. It has me thinking, because yes, if we look on our bench, if it's not Pepe, Reece Nelson hardly ever gets in the team. I think he should. Who are we going to turn to? Nketiah? And we all know Jamal would tell us that's not a good option. Martinelli hasn't been up and running. So for that reason, and even, okay, you know what? For that reason, I will go with Smith Rowe because of who I'm choosing on top. And I think that they have a very good relationship going. So I'm going to say, I'm put Smith Rowe. And I'm gonna jump ahead and give you my number 9, and that would be
Lacazette.
I know. That would be Lacazette. That would be Lacazette. So guys, I don't know how many of you agree with me, and I don't want to jump the gun here because that's the next thing we're gonna talk about. But for me, our captain is not in the team. Who else agrees with me?
I agree with you because I picked Partey.
Go ahead, Jamal.
No, you're looking at it based on a solid team going forward and a solid team that can win us games. Lacazette would be a no-brainer to start the game. And you have Aubameyang coming off the bench for firepower. Lacazette has proven in the past couple of games that he can do the work and can put in the shift, whether it's scoring goals or assisting or, pre-assist as people call it. And that's what I think is a solid team with him up top. And like I said earlier, he'll come in and play between the lines, and he'll drop back into midfield if he needs to. You'd see him running himself into the ground, but he'll play that midfield role if he needs to come back and play that midfield role. But Aubameyang cannot do it. Aubameyang is he'll be on the left, he'll be crossing the ball into everybody that's shorter than him to try and hit the ball. That doesn't work either. So Lacazette is my option up front.
Okay, Beef, you go ahead.
Obviously, it's clear as day. For a team play, you're going for Lacazette. Aubameyang. If you're talking off of form, and what you want in the team, you go with Lacazette because Aubameyang, you can ask counter him to score a goal, but besides scoring a goal, what does he give you? I know a lot of people go back to, oh, he won 2 golden boots, and we're not in the past. We're talking about right now. It's not guaranteed he's gonna score a next golden. He's not gonna get the next golden boot. You know what I mean? So for me, just to make it short, I will go with Lacazette. And when we talk about form right now, I will go with Lacazette, not ASAP Rocky.
So we're talking about farm right now. That's how we're building a team. Are we talking the best? Because if I recall correctly, we're talking about the current roster, right? Best starting 11, everybody in farm. Or no? Are we just talking about currently, the farm currently?
I think if everybody's in form, who would be your best starting 11?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, honestly speaking, oh boy, if we're talking about best starting 11 with everybody in form, I have seen Aubameyang in form at Arsenal, and I have seen Lacazette, so to speak, in form at Arsenal.
And you pick up Aubameyang.
So I would go with Aubameyang if we're talking with everybody in form, because honestly, I think Lacazette is our best number 9 based on the fact that he affects the game in multiple ways other than just scoring goals. But Lacazette is more of an instinctive striker, right? He's a man that the ball come to and will just swing his foot and hit it at the goal. Aubameyang is that player who will take that first touch, make that extra push to the left, to the right, that drag back or whatever to create the space to ensure the ball goes into the goal. And in a big game, last chance of the game, 2 players in form and that ball dropping to either Aubameyang or Lacazette to finish it, I want that ball to go to Aubameyang. So I'd go to Aubameyang.
Oh,
you sure?
Okay, Joe.
You forgot Olympiacos?
Okay, but I do think, guys, in fairness to Aubameyang, I think that Olympiacos game, I think that's an anomaly. I don't think that will happen again. And let me just get the comments in.
But he scored before that.
Right, Aiden is asking if you would sell Nketiah. I think that's not a question. Moy saying it's bold to leave out the captain. O'Neal say Abba should be on the bench. Moy saying Laka on top for real. Shakala is saying good night, Shakala. And Munchie saying here, then few shows ago there was Abba Kane. Well. I mean, I'm not saying that Abba. I'm still saying that Abba is on Kane's level. I'm still saying that Abba Kane. But right now, I've seen a striker's form could dip. And I think his form has indeed dipped. And because I'm not saying that Abba is not good, I'm saying because his form has dipped, and we're looking for a player that links everything together. That's why I went for Lacazette. Aiden is saying man's probably will take Balogun over Abba at the moment. He's been awful, and that's a fact. Right, that's the fact.
But then that's why I asked the question I asked, because if I recall, when we started off talking about the lineup, the statement was our starting 11, right? All the players in our squad are in form.
Everybody's fit.
Everybody's fit. Everybody's in form. If that is the case, I am going with Aubameyang up top. If we're going off of the current form, then I would go with Lacazette. But if we're talking everybody firing, everybody in form, I think it's a no-brainer. Lacazette's best goal-scoring season for us was what, 14 goals?
I think it was about 15 or so. I know he had a really good. What you said there, Beef?
It was, yeah, it is 14. His best
14.
goal season is 14.
But I think there was that year when Abba came into and he and Abba was going crazy, scoring a lot of goals and assists. I think on route to Europa League semi-final or so. But Joe, here's my point on that though.
Mhm.
Yes, Aubameyang would be in form, but Aubameyang on his best day, as a number 9, do you think we're playing enough ball? Do you think we're creating enough chances for him to score
Yes.
on his best form?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair
Aubameyang in
enough.
form, because I think that the issue is right now is not that Aubameyang is not getting the chances. No, it is the fact that he's not scoring them, because he's getting the chances. But then that
Right.
is why I said if he's in form, because a lot of the
He's
chances
scoring goals.
that Aubameyang missing are shockers to me. These are things
True,
that
true.
these are things that you don't even have to watch the TV. You see him get through, you're like, okay, we're back in it. 1-0, 2-0. But this man missing. You understand? But if we're talking about in form, so I'm going with Bama.
All right, Jamal, you have anything
Feel-
to comment here?
One thing that I feel like,
Go ahead,
you
let's
know, it
go.
all depends on personal preference and what you want to go with. You know what I mean? Because if we're talking about the player to their strength, Aubameyang is good, but I feel like Aubameyang is only good according to what the midfield give him. And
That's what I'm thinking.
Lacazette is different. When you look at that West Ham game, I see Partey swinging some ball right into Lacazette's feet, and he's able to get it under control. And
Yeah.
there was a game he do a one touch and flick it in for Saka. So he definitely
That was the
gives you
same
more.
game. Yeah. And Saka missed the goalkeeper. Yeah.
And that's what Lacazette give you. Give you that link up play and that 1-2 around the box. But Aubameyang, no, if the midfield is not producing, you're not gonna get, most likely you're not gonna get nothing from him, in my opinion. But if the midfield not producing, you can play the ball to Laka and get runners off of him, and something can happen. So it all depends on
Right.
person. They both two
Okay.
good strikers.
Yeah, true.
Aubameyang is the better striker. Let's be real.
And better finisher as well.
Based on his record, based on who he is. But right now he haven't. It's like I don't even. It's between a rock and a hard place. But it comes down to personal preference.
Okay, Jamal, I'm throwing this one to you because this is true. We've seen our best from Aubameyang, not as a striker through his years at Arsenal, not as a striker, but on the left. And this is what Aiden is saying, and Munchie is agreeing. When he was in the FA Cup, he was on the left. When he scored those 4 goals in the semi-finals and the finals, he was on the left. Do you think though, on our best team would be Aubameyang on the left over Smith Rowe, because you chose Smith Rowe on the left?
I would agree.
It would all come down. You agree to that, Nesta?
Yeah, so because just one thing there. When I look
Yeah.
at the way we play the tactics that Arteta is trying to implement, right? The way our team shift, when you see Lacazette drop in, Aubameyang when he's on the left, he take that space. That's why Tierney push up and Xhaka goes to left back. So now
right.
Tierney becomes that left winger, and now Aubameyang is in the striker position. That's how we score them goals against like the Community Shield and the semi-final and finals. It's just the way Arteta plays, so it pushes Aubameyang that way, and Tierney. That's why Tierney is a killer, because once Aubameyang goes in, the right back is going to go in with him, so Tierney have the space out there.
Right.
So I do feel like his better form is going to come on the left. That's just how we've been for Arsenal. He haven't been playing good because of the midfield we haven't. He wasn't playing good as a number 9. That's why he looked better on the left, because he have more space, in my opinion.
Go ahead, Jamal. Guys, we can process this out, and we can think, what? Okay, let me change the question then. What do we think now will work? What would think will work best? Because we could make an argument for Smith, because I think that, and I know it's a small sample size, but look at the games versus West Ham. Look at the game versus Leicester and Tottenham. We had Smith Rowe, and Smith Rowe was playing on the left. He was also, and Aubameyang didn't play those games. These are 2 games Aubameyang didn't play, and we could argue that we were really fluid in these games. So what do you think will work best going forward? Smith Rowe on the left, or what you call Smith on the left or Abba on the left? Yeah, that's the question.
But look, Alba he's never been an out and out striker. Even his Dortmund days, he's always been on the left. And I mean, that's what I think Wenger signed him for, as a winger and not a striker, because we already had Lacazette in the team. In terms of having him on the left, it totally depends on the team dynamic. And what Nesta was saying is that when you have Xhaka playing in that position, he goes to left back, and then Tierney becomes the winger, and Alba comes in centrally. We see that for a couple minutes of the game, but then coming towards, if we go a goal down, if we're level, Alba's right back out on the wing again, crossing the ball into nobody or into people shorter than him. So it does depend on how sound the team is, and if you're picking a solid team, I can't put Aubameyang on the left because he takes up the left position, which he shouldn't take up when we need him in the middle.
Right. That's a fair point. Aiden is saying something like thank you for that though, Aiden. Thanks for joining us too. Jordan is saying we want the handshake celebration to start Abba and Laka. We want vibes. Vibes brings goals. I'm not sure I know vibes bring goals, but I want to win title. And guys, we're gonna use that and we're gonna transition. Can this vibe that we're trying to build here, can this team that we just selected, even though we go with Abba on the left, Smith on the left, however we rotate it, Joe, because I think we're in agreement, just about 2 spots left under our number 9. So with that said, can this team win the Europa League? Let's go start with Beef.
Mathematically, we can. If we still in it, we can win it. But
come on, Beef, save your chest, man. Can we win? Are we going to win the Europa League with this team?
If we show up, yes.
Of course.
If we show up, yes. We have to show up. If we have the Arsenal that step up to Manchester United, we're partying and then in the midfield and beat Manchester United. But it all depends on the day. You know what I mean? We was doing good the last time when we meet Chelsea in the final. Everybody was hyped. I was hyped about that final against Chelsea.
I was too.
And they go and they had a crappy game, and Chelsea wasn't having a good season. Chelsea wasn't doing good. Arsenal was a team in form. And look what happened. Rude, So if they show up, that's my thing. If they show up, yes.
If they show up. Joe, go ahead.
Yeah, I think we can. I feel like the only thing that would really be the spoke in our wheel, so to speak, of number 1 getting to the finals and possibly winning is us, because we are our own kryptonite, to be honest.
I agree with you, bro.
Yeah, because most of the games, boss, if you really reevaluate all the games Arsenal have played this season, at least 80% of the games we can say that we are the reason we lost, because we gave the opposition chances out of nothing. Like persons out of the game completely, and then we give them play some stupid pass back, try to pass the ball out to the back unnecessarily and lose it. And so it all depends on us. But if we can eliminate that aspect of us giving gifts to the opponent, I think we can win. It's not going to be easy, but I think we can win it.
All right. I would say I'm definitely agreeing with you guys. Yes, we can win it, but too many times we've come on this show, and Jamal is the big proponent for this. We always hurt ourselves. I think that's where Jamal's quote unquote negativity comes in. And look at this, Jamal. Look at this. He's just waiting on the big butt from Jamal and this. All right, we're gonna get to Jamal just now. We're gonna get to Jamal, and I'm saying that, guys, we can win it. We can win it. I think we have the team. We have the favorable draw as well. I think we can beat. We need to beat Slavia Prague, and then whether we book up on what's his name, Emery or whoever else it is, I think we can beat them en route to the final. And even if it's Man United haven't beaten us for the season. I don't think Ole hasn't beaten Arteta since both of them have come into the job. So
No,
I
he hasn't.
think though, but then you have to think about Ajax. But I still do think once we get to the final, I think that we can win it. That's how I am looking at it. I think that
Of,
we can win it.
of all the
Let's
possible lineups in form,
ho,
I
ho,
think still the favorites.
right. So Jamal, are we going to get a butt?
Yes, we're gonna get a butt.
All right, let's hear it.
Now, okay. So initially, I thought we had the Saturday tie with Roma or Ajax, but then I just looked at it. We have either Zagreb or Villarreal when we get past Slavia Praha. That should be an easy win for us, but I don't. It depends on who makes it to the final. If United make it to the final, I fancy Arsenal any day of the week, a one-off game against United. We can win that. But you take Ajax and you take Roma to the final, then we're talking a different story here. And I don't know if it's not. I don't know. I know Arsenal has enough to beat both teams, but like Joe was saying, we can easily just capitulate in this final. And we're gonna if it's Ajax, we're gonna underestimate Ajax. Ajax was in the Champions League quarterfinal, semi-final 2 years ago.
Semi-final with Tottenham, right?
They're not just the easy team that you're gonna walk over. So
Yeah, that's true.
Ajax are very much in contention of winning this. Roma, I don't even know where they sit in Serie A at the moment, but they're
up and down. They are up and down.
They're the dark
Yeah.
horses here. I mean, they still have Žeko and those people, right?
Right,
Mkhitaryan,
Mkhitaryan, Smalling. They have a good midfield. They really do have a good midfield.
So I do think Roma will give us trouble as well. And the thing is, we don't know this opposition. We haven't played in the Champions League. We haven't played this level of opposition in Europe for a while. We don't have the experience in the team currently to say, okay, these guys, we can easily go forward and say, all right, Lacazette and Alba keep a cool head, Xhaka keep a cool head in midfield. These guys can say, oh yeah, let's rile up Xhaka. Xhaka gets a red card by halftime. Oh yeah, let's run behind David Luiz and just push him. He gets a red card. So it's gonna be tough because we don't know these opponents. But like I said, if it's United in the final, I fancy us to win it. But it's gonna be a struggle if it's either Ajax or Roma.
Okay, let me get some comments in. Jordan is responding to Aiden, say could be, because I think they asked whether or not it's confidence that has Abba in this slump right now, because we don't know what's going on in his personal life. But I feel if he gets a good set of goals back to back, might just turn whatever around. GK, he's saying that there's a chance, but wouldn't say we are the favorite. Jamal Munchie they're laughing at you. Aiden's still here with us. He's saying Man United and Arsenal final until Smalling and Mkhitaryan knock one of us out playing Roma. Man United seems to be favored. Whoever wins between Ajax and Roma, he's saying that's what O'Neill is saying, that they will win. They will win the Europa League. Okay, all right, okay, I get that. But if we can just we're looking to come to a close, guys, and I would say that our chance, if this happens, all right, let me throw this question out to you guys, and we start with you, B. Let's say we finish 9th, 8th at best in the Premier League. If we win the Europa League, will that be a successful season?
Yes.
For Arsenal.
Yes.
Go ahead, Jamal. You can answer next.
What was the question? If we finish 8th or 9th?
If we finish 8th or 9th, if we just finish, okay, now let's just say we finish 10th, we win the Europa League. Is that a successful season for us?
That's 100%. That puts us into the Champions League. That's Champions League money, and then starting the season fresh next year. Right. So 10th at that point means nothing, but we're in the Champions League.
Right, Joe.
Yeah, it is. I mean, even if we come 15th.
Yeah.
Listen.
You even go lower above me. Not take this something. We can't stomach this something in the back.
As long as we get relegated, if we win the Europa League, it is a successful season. Because why? We won a trophy, and that is the ultimate goal, to win a trophy. Not just a trophy. We'll be winning a European trophy. and then getting back into the Champions League. Hopefully, the cheapskates and then we'll free up the money so I can make some signings. So yeah.
Okay, that's my question. So if he wins this, because I am looking, I said this earlier on one of our earlier shows. If we win the Europa League, or even if we don't, I think the blame we should look firmly on the Concades. Should they back Arteta in come the summer, winning the Europa League or not, guys? Winning the Europa League or not? Should they just back Arteta? Because I'm thinking we are 4 or 5 players short.
Yeah.
Should they back Arteta? Lester, you can go.
I'm gonna be honest. Arteta is a type of manager that you just love when you hate him. Like you can see what he's trying to implement. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but I cannot see he's trying to do something and have an agenda. I'm not the type of agenda fan. I feel like Arsenal should have probably give Unai Emery a better chance. In my opinion, because he had a worse squad than Arteta. But I see what Arteta is trying to do. But I do feel like Arsenal have a lot of dead wood, and these players failed on the Wenger, they failed on the Emery. We gotta start new some way. And if Arteta is the man, he's a young manager. He learned a lot from Pep. I would give him the chance, to be honest. I'm not gonna worry about what other fans will say. I'm just being honest. I would give him the chance, fix the squad for him, give him at least 3 to 5 players. I feel like even if we get 3 players, backup left back, proper right back, whatever, at least 3 to 5 players. If he don't do good with that, then he got to go. But at least one more season with 3 to 5 players, and no more chance for him after that.
3 to 5 quality players. I just add in that word.
Quality,
because I do remember Wenger making some signings here, but they weren't really quality. They weren't really quality. Jamal, what do you say on this?
Yeah, we do. The Kronkers do need to back Arteta wherever we finish in this league, with or without a trophy. Obviously, how much they back him will depend on what we finish with and where we finish.
Yeah.
I cannot. There's no world, even if we win a trophy, there's no world I see us getting 5 players this summer, 5 quality players this summer.
True.
No way. That's not gonna happen. Even if we shift out players, and then you fall into the area of saying, would you take more players other than the players we have on loan? So let's say Ceballos and Odegaard sign. Do you still want 5 more players added to that?
No, I mean no, it wouldn't be that, because in my 4, Odegaard is in my 4.
Okay. And Ceballos? No?
If we can upgrade that spot, I would take the upgrade. But if cash, okay, you know what? If we can strengthen other areas, right? I would care, and we get Ceballos on the cheap. I'll take Ceballos.
Okay.
And while strengthening other areas.
If we got all we'd leave Ceballos back easily, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no way that we get 4 or 5 players this summer, especially coming off the back of COVID and knowing how the owners are. So I'd say we'd look for maybe 1 or 2 marquee signings, and then the rest are just going to be squad signings. And I wouldn't be surprised if that marquee signing is Odegaard, right? Because that's the way the club would move forward, depending on where we finish and what we finish with. So that it all comes down to that.
I hear that. Joe. Joe?
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like Beef said, Arteta is a love-hate relationship, but for me personally, it's more of a love than hate, because I feel like Arteta, okay, he came in, Arteta is making, for example, mistakes and, sometimes some bad calls that you would expect from somebody who just got into, the managerial, field. So certain things I can live with, because quite often a lot of the games we've lost, you can say Arteta this, you can say Arteta that. Quite often a lot of the games we've lost, Arteta got it right. The team failed. The team failed Arteta. So we can
I
actually
believe.
say that too. And then not just that, look at it this way. We would not be in the current predicament we're in now if Arteta was backed. Arteta wanted Awa and Party. They
I'm
made him
party.
choose, and they chose Party. If he got both, this number 10 predicament, we would have never been in that in the first place. Because that was the big thing that was killing us. That lack of that ultimate
For the
creative player
creativity there, right?
to
Mm-hmm.
create chances. Smith Rowe came in, Smith Rowe hit the bar running, and instantly that changed our entire season. So comes back, you can see his game plan. You can see that he has an idea of the kind of players he wants, to use to build his team and to create the style of football that he wants to create. So honestly, if the board backs him, I think he will do very well. He will still, make mistakes. He will still, have one or two mishaps there and there, but they're things I can live with. It's just about backing him, bringing in somebody like a Bissouma who I want really bad. I want Bissouma,
I like that. I like that.
you know,
Um,
um,
go ahead, finish. Finish off.
and definitely the backup left back because Kieran Tierney is, world class in my opinion, solid left back, but his entire career from a young youth coming up, he's been injury prone. So that's my
All right.
concern.
Okay. All right. Hey, listen. The real question is, and this is what we've been discussing just now. Would Kroenke actually support the squad if you're in the Champions League next season? And I think that as fans, thinking about that from your owner is really damning. O'Neill is saying the standards to the floor, Joe,
Yeah, 50,
because that's what Joe said. He said 50. GK saying Kroenke isn't the problem, and Kroenke doesn't need to support anything financial. You got scouts, you got Dutch scouts and negotiators in the club. You need to sign the right players, and he says that sounds like United too. He said, nah, Emery had a better squad. He had the better creators, and then you seen us struggle about no creativity after we lost Ramsey, Iwobi, and Mkhitaryan. Munchie's laughing. Munchie's hold your point on that, they beef. Joe said 15 levels. Thing is, United spend money on these players to get them. So obviously they are getting the managers in Mourinho, Solskjaer, the players they want, as I see it. So Bios and Odegaard, I'm not convinced about them. Not convinced about Odegaard, bro. And he says here also that he does not want a war. Either he's been playing at this level since he broke through at Lyon in 2017, great dribbler, but not the finished article, and he's not creative.
So was the
And he
Nesri.
says that he's saying he has to leave. So he has to leave for the future. But yeah, R.I.P. Claude indeed.
Yep.
R.I.P. Claude. Claude died. He said Bizuzu Joe knows ball dog, but y'all don't need him with Party and Shaki. Talking about Bissouma there.
Xhaka outside. Xhaka role player or Xhaka leaves. Bissouma in. Whatever we have to do. If Xhaka has to leave, then Xhaka has to leave.
Yeah.
Either he can sit up on the bench and come in and help out when I need it, or about the business.
Okay. Right, guys, we can give your final points on anything we've touched tonight. I think you had something to say on one of those comments there, Nestor, so you can go ahead.
Oh, that's a whole another discussion there about the whole Emery thing. I don't agree with that. But I agree with the person that I always have the stance that you don't really blame Kroenke. In my opinion, I don't really blame him for everything. I blame negotiators more and the scouting setup more. I blame them more than Kroenke. Because a lot of people say, oh, he's not a football fan and this and that. But if I'm a rich person, I don't have to be a fan of something, If I invest some money, I need the people that I give the money to invest the money in the right ways. And that's where I feel like, the club failed, Michelin Todd, that's one of our biggest loss right there. To get, Michelin Todd, but that's a whole nother argument there. I'm not going to get into it.
I mean, look, we can save that. We can save that for another one. Jamal, your final thoughts.
I disagree with majority of what GK said. So
Everything.
Okay. Go ahead. Sum it up. Sum it up, bro.
Right? But you can't put
He
somebody.
said something here too.
So in that case, well, who's Shaka? Shaka's also a DM, so you can't. That's another thing I disagree.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and then going up, talking about ours, not the finished article. Since when are we signing finished articles? That's another number that I can touch on. Ceballos and Odegaard, you can't put them in the same sentence. Odegaard is a bit levels ahead of Ceballos at the moment. You can't say you don't want both of them, right? Okay, he just said Shaka's not the DM. That's it. I don't think anybody else. Well, I don't know what we can on.
That's the positivity we need, Jamal. That's it.
I've never seen this Jamal before. I have never seen this Jamal before. He said Shaka is an 8. He says Shaka is an 8.
Okay. All right. On that note,
so he's saying that Shaka is box to box. I don't think he's agile enough to be an 8 though. He said that Shaka is an 8. He's saying Shaka is box to box.
I think Inet messing around. I can't.
Yeah. No, he must have the wrong Shaka. Maybe you're talking about his brother. So there's no way.
I need you to put up that comment from Jordan Pemberton.
This one. You love trouble. You love trouble. That's what you do. GK. I mean, you're gonna have to explain to us, and I guess you can join us when we have another show because we just coming to a close. But I want you to explain to us, and I would love to hear your best 11 as well. I would love to hear your best 11 as well because he said, "Look at Jordan. Yeah, I just love problem. Shaka on 18. You know what I mean?
I don't. How can you sit and watch Arsenal and call Shaka an 8?
Yeah.
Oh no.
I mean, Partey would be okay. I know Partey is a good. Partey can play 8.
Yeah.
So I think Partey is more of an 8. Well, Partey is a CDM too. I'm looking at it this way. If we have Bissouma and Partey, then Odegaard free up. Everybody in front free up because as soon as we lose the ball, them guys cutting out. Okay, he answers us here. And 8 doesn't mean box to box, but there's different types of 8.
Well,
okay, you're definitely
because I've never seen an 8 that sits deep and plays left back when the team.
Before I judge PK, I'd love to actually talk to him and kind of understand his points and where he's coming from before I make judgment. Because of everything he said, the only thing I agree with is the scout comment. Because we can say for a fact that we have signed a lot of players over the past that I have no idea why we signed them. But
Joe, hold on there, Joe. Hold on there. Look at this. This is the point he's saying. Xavi and Cruz weren't box to box. Liverpool fans said Thiago is an 8, which he's not. He's a 6. GK, let me tell you, GK, reach out to us. You can add us in any of our platforms so we can get to talk to you and stuff like that. Reach out to us so we can get your contact and stuff like that. Yeah, here we go. He goes again. GK saying that there's controlling 8s and a ball carrying 8. But okay. I mean,
Xhaka would be his controlling 8.
So you're saying Shaka is the farmer.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's saying. So you guys, and this definition, Beef, what are you saying?
So I understand what he's saying. You know, a lot of times Xhaka puts the ball in certain spots, and he do give it out defense splitting pass. He might not do it as often, but he do it. You know, how many times you see him play for Bellerin for the most part? You know, so
Shaka can pass the ball well.
You know, he do have a good point when he said like the Xavi and the Cruz. You know.
Yeah.
So he do have a good point. Every 8 is not going to be a box to box. It depends on what the coach wants. You know what I mean? But Xhaka is, you know, he just not good enough. He have the mobility of a 6. He's that deep line player, but he's not good enough to be that 6. And he's not agile enough to be that 8. So he just gets stuck in. He's just stuck in between the middle. So
there will be a 6.5.
Xhaka 7.5. You know, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, all right, guys. Jamal,
I can't even agree with Thiago being a 6. I mean, that's on Iniesta's level. A 6.
Hmm.
I
Okay.
right?
I can kind of
No, you look at
I can kind of agree with I can kind of agree with the Thiago being a 6. I can live with it
yeah, but
because to me I don't really see Thiago as an 8.
so what was
Really.
Nasri? What was Nasri?
Nazri was a white player.
No, but Nasri could play in that 6 as well,
Yeah.
but he's not a 6.
Nazri played more 10 on wide, man.
Yeah, 10 up, yeah.
Just
So
like
what do we call Ramsey? Ramsey's a pure 8. Or he
Yeah,
has some 6.
because then he watched
Yeah, no, Ramsey's a pure 8.
Alright, so the Nazi was a 10. I think Nazi was a 10 too. I think we bought him
Yeah,
to be
I
a
think
10.
so too.
He bought him to be a 10. Alright guys, we do have some content for next year. We gotta line up somewhere else again, guys. We gotta get Nestor back in the building. And while we're at it, guys, as you see scrolling at the bottom there, subscribe to Nestor TV AFC. You got some good content over there. I was on his show a couple weeks ago, I think. So check that out. Nestor is here with us. He's a big Arsenal fan. Has a page there on Facebook as well. So subscribe to Nestor TV AFC. Subscribe to Ireland fans like us. We got some more content coming through. We are back live again on Thursday as we preview the weekend games. You know, we have our Liverpool matchup coming up this weekend. We want to slap Liverpool because them they are nobody right now. So I want to slap Liverpool this weekend. That's for Afri. That's for Afri. But guys, thank you for joining us. Shout out to Nestor. Shout out to Joe. Thanks for joining us. And shout out to Jamal. Jamal, what time it is by you now? About after 1?
Yeah, 18 minutes to 2 in the morning.
Shout out
See,
to
minutes
GK.
to 2. Minutes to 2.
Yeah.
Minutes to 2. Jamal staying up to be an Island fan. Thank you, Jamal, for your commitment. Thank you guys for joining us.
Shout out, Chuck. You got to shout out. Shout out GK.
Shout out GK, shout out Aiden. Those are 2 names I haven't seen. Thanks for joining us. Come back again on what you call it? On Thursday. When we sing. I will not even put up this last comment for Munchie because he doesn't find a way to bring in Man City sometimes. So GK, remember to reach out to us.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for everything tonight. It was a lovely time.
Right.
Thank you for watching Island Fans. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you'll know when there are new videos and updates. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and like us on Facebook. Island Fans, for the passion of the game.